Stop running from discomfort. Stop hiding from the things that feel heavy, hard, and humiliating. Because here's the truth: the things you avoid are exactly the things that will turn you into who you're supposed to be. You think greatness is going to show up while you're cozy, scrolling your phone, or waiting for the perfect mood. It won't. It's forged in the furnace of what sucks. Do the workout when you don't feel like it. Show up to the job you hate and give your absolute best. Study when your brain screams to stop. Make that call you've been terrified to make. You want confidence. You want resilience. You want to be unshakable. That doesn't come from winning easy battles. It comes from stepping willingly into situations where every cell in your body wants to quit and staying there anyway. The people you admire didn't get there by doing what was comfortable. They put themselves in positions that sucked so badly they wanted to cry, vomit, or run away, but they didn't. They stayed. They pushed. They fought. And every single time you do something that sucks, you're building a callus over your weaknesses. You're teaching your mind that pain is not the enemy, it's the architect. So, the next time you feel that dread, that resistance, that deep desire to avoid, go toward it. Because the things that suck the most are the things that will shape you the most. Do what sucks every day until what once crushed you becomes your warm-up. Discomfort is the training ground for strength. The more you face it, the stronger you get. Every time you step into something uncomfortable, you're building the kind of power that can't be bought or borrowed. It's the kind of strength that only comes from doing the things you'd rather avoid. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort. They dodge challenges, avoid confrontation, and hide from the situations that make them feel small. But here's the truth: the things that make you uncomfortable are the exact things that will prepare you for what you say you want in life. Think about it. The first time you lift something heavy, it feels impossible. Your muscles shake, your breath shortens, your body tells you to stop. But if you push through, if you do it again and again, the weight that once crushed you becomes easy to lift. That's not magic, that's adaptation. And your mind works the same way. When you face situations that scare you, that challenge you, that push you to the edge, you teach your brain that you can survive, that you can handle more than you thought. Discomfort isn't there to punish you, it's there to prepare you. It strips away the illusion of safety and forces you to grow into the kind of person who can handle the storms of life without breaking. The stronger you get, the more you realize that the obstacle isn't the problem, the fear of the obstacle is. And the only way to kill that fear is to walk straight into it, not once, not twice, but over and over until your mind stops seeing it as a threat. Every act of courage begins with discomfort. Every success story is written in chapters of struggle, and every breakthrough is born in moments that most people would run from. So when discomfort comes, don't see it as a warning sign to turn back. See it as proof you're in the right place, because nothing worth having is ever built in comfort. And the more you step into the fire, the more you'll realize that's where the real strength is made. Avoidance kills growth. What you avoid is exactly what you need to confront. Every time you turn away from a challenge, you're teaching yourself that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you don't have what it takes. You're reinforcing weakness, you're feeding fear, and over time, the habit of avoidance builds walls around your potential. Walls that keep you safe, yes, but also keep you small. The truth is, growth doesn't live in the places you feel comfortable. It lives in the hard conversations you don't want to have. It lives in the risks you're afraid to take. It lives in the decisions you keep postponing because you're scared of the outcome. When you avoid these things, you're not avoiding pain, you're avoiding transformation. You're dodging the exact moments that could have built you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Avoidance is seductive because it gives you temporary relief. It makes you feel safe in the moment. But that safety is an illusion because the problem you avoided doesn't disappear, it waits. It waits until you're weaker, until you're less prepared, until the cost of confronting it is even higher. Life will keep sending you the same lesson until you learn it, and the longer you run from it, the harder it will hit when it finally catches you. Confrontation is uncomfortable, yes. Facing your fears will make your heart race, your hands sweat, your mind scream for escape. But that's where the breakthrough is hiding. That's where confidence is built. That's where you discover that the monster you've been running from is rarely as big as it looked from a distance. Avoidance keeps you stuck in the same cycle, repeating the same mistakes, feeling the same frustrations. Confrontation breaks the cycle. It opens the door to new skills, new strengths, and new opportunities. So the next time you feel the urge to run from something, stop, turn around, face it, because what you avoid today will only stand in your way tomorrow. And the only way forward is through. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is forged in doing things you hate doing. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fragile. They change with the weather. They disappear when you're tired, stressed, or uncomfortable. One day you wake up inspired, ready to take on the world. The next day you wake up wanting to hide under the covers. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you'll only work when it's easy. And nothing great is built by doing things only when they feel easy. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It shows up when you're exhausted. It shows up when you're sick of the grind. It shows up when the last thing you want to do is keep going. Discipline is doing the workout when every muscle aches. It's writing the page when the words don't come. It's showing up to the job when you'd rather quit. It's saying no to what's comfortable so you can say yes to what matters. Discipline is built in the moments you want to stop but don't. It's forged in the choices that make you miserable in the moment but powerful in the long run. Doing the things you hate doing is not about punishment, it's about preparation. It teaches you to work without needing permission from your feelings. It teaches you that you can push past resistance, that you can act even when every part of you says don't. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will carry you when motivation is gone. And make no mistake, it will be gone more often than it's there. That's why the people who succeed aren't the most motivated. They're the most disciplined. They've mastered the art of showing up no matter what. They've learned that their emotions are passengers, not drivers, and because of that, they keep moving forward when everyone else stops. If you want to win, don't wait for motivation to come knocking. Build discipline, and the fastest way to build it is to do the things you hate every single day until they no longer control you. Confidence comes from survival of difficulty, not from easy wins. Easy wins feel good in the moment, but they don't change who you are. They don't test your limits. They don't demand anything from you that you haven't already given before. Real confidence is born when you face something that could break you and you make it through. It's forged in the nights you wanted to give up but didn't. It's built in the moments when fear was screaming in your ear and you moved forward anyway. Surviving difficulty changes the way you see yourself. It proves to you that you can endure pain, pressure, and uncertainty. It teaches you that you're capable of far more than you believed. That's why the strongest people you know didn't get there by avoiding the storm. They walked straight into it and came out the other side. Every challenge you survive leaves a mark on you, not a scar of weakness, but a badge of proof. Proof that you can handle the next one and the one after that. When you survive something hard, you stop doubting yourself in the same way. You stop questioning if you can because you've already shown yourself that you can. Confidence isn't about never being afraid. It's about knowing you can face fear and keep moving. It's not about having a perfect record of success. It's about having a perfect record of getting back up. Easy wins might make you feel good in the moment, but they won't prepare you for the battles that matter. They won't teach you grit. They won't give you the mental armor you need when life hits harder than you expected. Every difficulty you survive is an investment in yourself. It's a deposit into the bank of confidence that you can draw from for the rest of your life. So don't chase the easy victories, chase the challenges that scare you. Because once you've walked through fire and survived, you'll carry a kind of confidence that no one can take from you. The best leaders have endured the hardest struggles. Hardship is the foundation of resilience. No one becomes a true leader by walking an easy path. They become leaders because they've walked through fire and learned how to keep moving when everything around them was burning. They've faced loss, failure, and betrayal. They've been pushed to the edge of their limits and found the strength to take one more step. Hardship doesn't just test you, it shapes you. It strips away arrogance. It humbles you. It forces you to see the world in a way comfort never will. When you've been through pain, you understand pain in others. When you've struggled to survive, you lead with compassion because you know what it's like to fight just to stand. Resilience isn't built when the road is smooth. It's built when every step feels impossible, but you take it anyway. It's built when life hits you so hard that you can barely breathe, yet you get back up and face it again. The best leaders carry scars, not as signs of defeat, but as proof they've been tested, proof they've stood in the storm and refused to be moved. Those scars become their strength. They remind them that no matter what happens, they've survived worse before and they can survive again. People follow leaders who have suffered because they trust them. They trust them to stay calm in chaos. They trust them to make hard choices without flinching. They trust them to lead not just with words, but with the weight of lived experience. Hardship teaches patience. It teaches endurance. It teaches you that not every battle is won quickly, and not every fight is fair, but you fight anyway. Every struggle you face and survive becomes part of your foundation. And when that foundation is built from resilience, no storm can tear it down. The best leaders know that without hardship, there is no strength. And without strength, there is no leadership worth following. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. It builds your capacity for more. Most people see pain as something to run from. They treat it like a warning sign to stop, to turn back, to avoid. But pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to instruct you. It's the body's way of showing you where you need to grow stronger. It's life's way of teaching you lessons you cannot learn in comfort. Pain shows you your limits, and then it dares you to push past them. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you would never face if everything was easy. When you lift a heavy weight, your muscles ache. That ache is the sign they are breaking down so they can rebuild stronger. When you go through emotional pain, it tears at your heart, but it also stretches your capacity to endure, to empathize, to connect with others. Pain is the forge where resilience is made. It burns away the illusions you have about yourself and reveals what you're truly capable of. Without pain, there's no growth. Without pain, there's no depth to your character, no strength behind your words, no power in your presence. Every hardship you endure increases your capacity for more. More strength, more courage, more understanding, and more ability to carry the weight of life without collapsing under it. Pain doesn't make you weaker, avoiding pain does. Because when you avoid it, you also avoid the lessons it was meant to teach you. Every challenge, every loss, every failure carries a lesson hidden inside the discomfort. The sooner you stop fighting the fact that pain exists, the sooner you can start learning from it. The goal isn't to love pain for pain's sake. The goal is to respect it for what it gives you: the growth, the wisdom, the mental armor that nothing else can provide. Pain is not your enemy. It's the coach that pushes you harder than you'd ever push yourself. And when you listen to its lessons, you walk away not just healed, but transformed. Resistance is a signal. If you feel it, it's probably where you need to go. Most people think resistance means stop. They think that tightness in their chest, that voice in their head saying, "Don't do it," is a warning to turn back. But resistance is rarely a sign of danger. It's a sign of importance. You don't feel resistance toward things that don't matter. You feel it when you're standing on the edge of something that could change you. It shows up before the workout you've been putting off. It shows up before the phone call you've been avoiding. It shows up before the decision you know will take you out of your comfort zone. Resistance is your mind trying to protect you from discomfort. It wants you to stay safe, predictable, and unchanged. But safe doesn't build you. Predictable doesn't challenge you, and unchanged doesn't take you anywhere new. The things you resist the most are often the things that will grow you the most. That's why every major breakthrough in life is preceded by a battle with resistance. You have to push through the urge to quit before you get to the reward. You have to walk into the fear before you discover your courage. The more resistance you feel towards something, the more you should pay attention to it, because that resistance is pointing you toward the exact work you need to do. It's like a compass that doesn't point to what's easy, it points to what's necessary, and every time you follow it, you expand your capacity to handle more. Every time you ignore it, you shrink. You make your world smaller. You make yourself smaller. The path to growth is marked by resistance. So instead of running from it, lean into it. Let it be the signal that tells you you're in the right place. Because on the other side of resistance is the strength, skill, and confidence you've been chasing. And the only way to get there is to go straight through it. Growth requires repetition of hardship. Do it daily until it becomes normal. One difficult moment won't change you. One challenge won't transform your character. True growth is built in the repetition of facing hard things over and over again. It's not about surviving one storm, it's about learning to walk through the rain every single day until you no longer notice you're wet. Hardship loses its power when it becomes familiar. The first time you face it, you feel fear. The second time, you feel less. The 10th time, you start to realize it's just another part of life. When you face hardship daily, it stops being an interruption and starts being your training ground. It becomes the environment where strength is built, where resilience is sharpened, where mental toughness becomes second nature. You can't get that from comfort. Comfort can only keep you where you are. Hardship pulls you forward, but only if you meet it again and again without running away. The repetition is what changes you. Every day you choose the hard path, you're laying bricks in the foundation of who you're becoming. Every day you embrace the struggle, you're making it harder for life to break you. When hardship becomes normal, you no longer panic when it arrives. You no longer question whether you can survive it because you've done it before many times. That familiarity breeds calm, it breeds confidence, it breeds a mindset that says, "I've been here before, I can handle this." And that is where real power comes from, not from avoiding pain, but from meeting it so often that it loses its edge. The more you repeat hardship, the more you discover it's not the enemy, it's the teacher. It's the proof that you can adapt, that you can grow, that you can keep going no matter what stands in your way. Do it daily, face the struggle again and again, until what once felt unbearable becomes just another part of your day. That's when you know you've grown. Hardship shrinks fear. What once scared you becomes familiar territory. The first time you face something difficult, fear feels overwhelming. Your heart races, your hands shake. Your mind plays every worst-case scenario on repeat. You think, I can't do this, but then you step into it. You take the hits, you feel the discomfort, and somehow you make it through. That moment changes you, because now you know it wasn't as impossible as you thought. The second time you face something similar, the fear is still there, but it's smaller. You recognize the terrain, you know where the pitfalls are, you remember that you survived before, and you can survive again. Hardship is repetition training for your courage. Each time you go through it, your mind adjusts. It stops treating the challenge as a threat and starts treating it as something you've handled before. The unfamiliar becomes familiar. The terrifying becomes routine. Fear loses its grip on you because your brain now has proof that you can endure. Think about any skill you've mastered. At first, it felt awkward, scary, and uncertain, but with repetition, it became second nature. Hardship works the same way. It conditions you to operate under pressure without losing your head. It turns chaos into something you can navigate. It transforms the unknown into a place you've already walked. And once you've been there enough times, it no longer scares you, it challenges you. That shift is where strength is born. Because when fear no longer controls you, possibilities open up. You take bigger risks. You face bigger battles. You push into territory that most people avoid because they're still trapped by the fear you've already beaten. Hardship doesn't just toughen your body, it rewires your mind. It trains you to see fear as a signal, not a stop sign. And with every struggle you survive, the world feels a little less threatening and a lot more conquerable. What once made you hesitate becomes the ground you stand on with confidence, because you've been there before, and you know you can win there again. Do what sucks, and you'll build an unshakable mind. Most people spend their lives avoiding the things they hate. They run from discomfort, dodge challenges, and cling to the illusion that life should always feel good. But the truth is, the things you avoid are the things that will make you unbreakable. When you do what sucks, you train yourself to stop relying on comfort. You teach your mind that it can act even when it doesn't want to. You learn to push forward when every part of you is screaming to stop. That's where strength is built, not in the moments you enjoy, but in the moments you endure. Doing what sucks strips away your excuses. It forces you to confront your own limits and push past them. It shows you that your feelings don't get to decide your actions. Every time you choose the hard path instead of the easy one, you add another layer of mental armor. You stop being fragile. You stop breaking at the first sign of resistance. You become someone who can face pain, pressure, and uncertainty without folding. Most people crumble when life hits them because they've never practiced dealing with difficulty. They've built their entire existence around avoiding it. But when you make a habit of doing what sucks, hardship stops surprising you. It stops overwhelming you. You've trained for it. You've lived in it. And because of that, you meet it with calm instead of panic. An unshakable mind isn't born from ease, it's built in the daily grind of doing the work you don't want to do. It's built in the mornings you wake up tired but show up anyway. It's built in the moments you want to quit but keep going anyway. It's built in the decision to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. Every act of doing what sucks is a deposit into the bank of resilience. And one day, when life throws its worst at you, you'll realize you've already been training for it. You won't just survive it, you'll own it. Because you've built a mind that nothing can shake.